So what what in the world, Bo? That's all I can say. Like what what in the world, Bo? I mean I know everybody say low. That's your catchphrase and everything. And this time it really applies in this particular case. I'm literally sitting here like what in the world, Bo? We were just talking last night. Everybody was talking about how the NFC South was wide open, you know, and we gonna have a chance to make a run. We re-signed Matt Ryan, and now you turned everything around, and then it's like, oh, wait a minute, hold on, what in the world? Deshaun Watson might be going to the Saints, or Deshaun Watson might be going to the Panthers. Either way, Deshaun Watson probably gonna be coming to the NFC South. Then on the other side, it's like Tom Brady said he want to come back all of a sudden. Like what? What in the world, Bo? Like what's going on? Look, for everybody out there that don't know me, my name is Big Low Kuntry. I'm just an old country boy, former football coach that loves to sit around and talk about sports. You could have been anywhere in the world tonight, but you're here with me, and I definitely and greatly appreciate that. First of all, let's go ahead and get all of the spring cleaning out the way. If you are watching this show after this show airs, or you're not watching it live, make sure that you put a what in the world, Bo, in the comments, because I definitely want to show love to anybody who's showing love to me. In the spirit of showing love to everybody who shows love to me, let me go ahead and show love to everybody who came on already. Nate Bill says, "What in the world? What's going on, Coach? Tom Brady coming back? I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it either, Bo." Jared, what's going on, Coach? Cartier says, "What's going on, coaches?" Broncos Stampede says, "R.I.P. Falcons." He said, he just said R.I.P. Falcons. That's rough right there. Jared says, "I got nothing." Raymond, what in the world? That's all I can say. Like I'm literally sitting here. I'm literally sitting here like, what in the world, Bo? I don't know what to say in this case. Like what in the world? Oh man, Captain Young Boy. He says, literally, what in the world, Bo? I mean, that's yes, Redrick. Today was crazy. Luis, what's that? Calsty. He says, "Who that nation?" He says, "We back." Well, wait a minute now. Not so fast, my friend. Slow down there, Ghost Rider. The deal still has to go through. So, actually, in this case, the Saints are in a pretty good situation. Let's go ahead and talk about Deshaun Watson. The Saints are in a great situation. Number one, they could probably trade the whole King's ransom, the 3 first-round picks, and whatever else to get Deshaun Watson from the Houston Texans. But the thing is that whenever Sean Payton comes back, it's going to be one of those cases where it's like, well, wait a minute. They would have to trade his rights away. So they could literally make up for that. And that would be Sean Payton's last good deed before he leaves New Orleans. Like they could trade for some of that draft capital back. So the Saints are in a pretty good situation. If they let Armstead go, I think that would add like $20-something million to their cap. So you got to remember, Deshaun Watson, he has the no trade clause. If the Panthers offered the best deal for him, even if they offered 5 first-round picks, I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know what they would offer. But if they offered, they sold the farm and cut off their right and left leg for him, Deshaun Watson could still just veto it. Like, he could still say, hey, no, I'm not going there. So it's a crazy situation. Dre Murphy in here. What in the world, Bo? How's everybody doing and feeling on this Sunday, fun day night tonight? We live back-to-back nights. Yes, hey, man, we had to. Padre in here. What's going on, Coach? Padre said, much love to the coaching staff. Much love to you, man. What's good? Brian People says, Coach Lowe, what in the world with all these? Hey, man, that's why I told Coach Ron, I said, look, Coach Ron, we got to have an emergency coach meet. John Bird said, "Hey, Lo, did you get Coach Ronnie the gold toe? I tried to order it for her. She just walking around the house in the bombers. I'm sitting here like, what in the world, Coach Ronnie? Like, we can't be wearing the bombers all kind of ways now. Like, we ain't got that kind of money yet. We we can't be wearing the $80 socks just around the house like it ain't nothing." Xavier says, Big Low, what's good? Glad I could catch you. I hope it ain't true. Story of my life, shaking my head. Padre says Brady trolling the earth. I got Coach Wallace in here. You know that it's a party. So look, man. Tom Brady is literally pulling he's literally pulling a Brett Favre. He's literally pulling a Brett Favre. I'm retiring. I'm not retiring. All kinds of situations. I mean, come on, Bo. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? It's sad. The thing is, guys, is that it's sad that it affects the Atlanta Falcons the way that it does, because we shouldn't be at the point where we celebrate when a player from an opposing team in the division retires or leaves. We shouldn't be feeling down whenever we find out that a player from an opposing player in the division is coming back. That you know what that is? I'm finna go ahead and tell you, and I apologize if y'all get upset with me for saying this, but that's a loser's mentality. It is a loser's mentality. We're looking at it. We're sitting here saying, oh, the NFC South is open because Tom Brady is not playing. He left. The NFC South is open. Kyle Trask might be their quarterback. Some people say Kyle Trash. Some people say Kyle Trask. But one thing, and a lot of things, and this is something that a lot of people who play football, a lot of people who actually just play sports, period. One thing that you have to realize, guys, is that as an athlete, as a team, and even as a fan base, what we have to realize, and I'm not trying to go all rah-rah on you, motivational Coach Lowe. I'm not trying to do that. But one thing that we all have to realize is that we can't control what somebody else does or what somebody else isn't doing. The only thing that we can control is what we're doing. I don't know if y'all watched the video that I put out just a few minutes ago talking about the way that I ended it, and I stand by it. I'll stand by it just like a best man at a groom's wedding day. I stand by it just like that. But the way that I ended that video is saying, look, Arthur Smith, Terry Fontenot, you need to do what you need to do. You need to do what you need to do, and you need to get this shit right, Bo. You need to get this shit right. Because guess what? Down there at Tampa Bay, them boys out there firing the cannons. So, look, I ain't trying to stand on the soapbox. Hold on. Let me get up off the soapbox. My bad. Oh, man. Cartier, he said, look, man, I'm still buying new Falcons. Oh, you already know, Coach. You already know. I was just on Liz just yesterday. I was looking. Desert says, how, Sway? How? Tom Brady coming back to the Buccaneers, said that he wants to run it back. Deshaun Watson, the Saints, they're trying to make a move for Deshaun Watson. It's crazy, man. Look, I do need y'all to do a country boy a favor. Make sure that you hit that like button. If you like the fact that Tom Brady's coming back to the Buccaneers, make sure that you hit that like button. Also, if you don't like the fact that Tom Brady's coming back to the Buccaneers, like a lot of the Falcons fans in here or Saints fans or Panthers fans in here feel, you can still hit the like button. It's either way, you're hitting the like button. That's the goal. That's the goal. Malik says, I feel like once you announce that you are retiring, you shouldn't be allowed to come back at all. Rise up. I feel like that's the case. Tom Brady, he trying to pull a Mike. He trying to pull a Michael Jordan. Tom Brady trying to come back with a 4-5 like Mike Jordan. They can change the numbers now. He ain't got to wear 12 no more. He could wear any number that he wants to. I feel like he's trying to come back like Michael Jordan. I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. He said that he's going to come back on us. Carman says Falcons finished third in the NFC, bro. You never know, Coach. You legitimately never know. Padre said, I saw reports that Watson was pressing a trade with the Steelers. Wow. So he's actually trying to get a trade. He's trying to go to work with Brian Flores and Mike Tomlin. So if that's the case, Padre, I would definitely take that. I would definitely take that. I don't want to have to deal with Deshaun Watson and Tom Brady and whoever the Panthers have as their quarterback in the NFC South. I legitimately can't do it. I can't do it. You know. Granddad says, "Come on, Coach Low. Nah, you didn't have to. I thought it was breaking Atlanta Falcons news." No, Coach. No. Jay Black says Deshaun Watson going to the Saints. Man, we don't know if that's the case. We know that the Saints put in an offer for him. So, you know, it depends on what the Houston Texans accept, and it depends on if Deshaun Watson wants to go to the New Orleans Saints. You know, Padre says, well, the first Superman chat of the night, he said, "Hey, Coach, I missed a couple of episodes, and Coach Roney been sullying your good name behind socks and whatnot. Manfoot is an elite footwear provider." Thank you, Coach. Thank you. He says, "Let Coach get you right, man." Coach, I definitely somebody give Coach Padre a hand. Boy, you on top of it like brown gravy, boy. But look, Padre, thank you so much, family. I definitely appreciate that. Thank you for donating to the channel. That's that. Dun, dun, dun. That's a Superman chat. Oh, man. Molly Mall says, "I'm not feeling all the players we have to give up to get Watson." Now, that's the question. That's the question, Molly Mall. What are the Saints talking about giving up to get Deshaun Watson? That's the question. That's the $1 million question, because I just heard draft picks. Now, I didn't hear anything about any additional players. I didn't hear about that. Matty Ghost with the second Superman chat of the night. He says, "More draft picks for 2023, 2024. We build trenches and get a quarterback." I mean, look, thing is, I've been trying to get these trenches built for the last 2-3 years, you know, and sometimes they'll actually show an effort to get the trenches built. Sometimes it's like, you know, we don't even try it. We'll just go out and draft Calvin Ridley. You know, I'm like, what in the world? Like, come on, what in the world, boy? But Matty Ghost, I definitely appreciate that, my brother. That's that. Dun, dun, dun. That's a Superman chat. Oh, man. But yeah, man. Yeah. Bubba Gump, I agree with you. Tom Brady, he's pulling a Brett Favre. Now, Coach Ronan, she was telling y'all last night that there was some reports talking about how Bruce Arians, Tom Brady aren't getting along, and you know, there's dissension in between the ranks and everything. And you know, that's definitely tough. But I mean, if that is the case, it sounds like they got it resolved. I was telling Coach Roney last night, I said, "Look, Coach, if Bruce Arians knows what's good for him, he'll just shut up and just let Tom Brady play. Because before Tom Brady got there, it's not like he was winning Super Bowls. Tom Brady won 6 of them. Who would you rather go with, right?" I don't know if Bruce Arians was listening to the show last night or what, but maybe he realized, like, hey, I might need to just go ahead and let Tom Brady do what Tom Brady does. You know, because you could tell. I could tell you almost the exact moment last year. I remember watching the games last year, and I was like, man, this isn't looking like a Tom Brady-led offense. Then you started hearing the reports, dissension in between the ranks. Like, oh, okay, that's what's going on. Ben Drippin says, "Go Falcons." But Trey out 3, going crazy. Patrick Swayze on the Pacers. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Pull the trigger, Trey. Woo, boy, it's getting cold in here. Oh man, Molly Mall says the Texans would not want to trade Watson in their conference, and I understand that. I definitely understand that. You know, it's one of those things, man. I mean, but you got to remember, Watson also has that no trade clause, so he could just, if he wanted to, and he just had his heart set on Pittsburgh, He can just keep vetoing all these trades. He could veto the trade to the Saints, to the Panthers. Because I see D Cash in here says Watson coming home, hashtag keep pounding. I mean, we don't know. We don't know. You know, it's crazy. This NFL all season has been crazy. It's been about as exciting as a doggone NFL season. I mean, and it's crazy. All this news came out on Sunday. I heard about the Deshaun Watson thing. I was watching my homeboy Big Q on the Sports Coma. Shouts out to Big Q. Much love to him. That's Big Brother right there, man. But yeah, I was watching them and they were talking about it. They was like, yeah, man, we made an offer for Deshaun Watson. I was like, who you telling? I've been at the house chilling all day because, you know, your boy Big Little Kuntry, I work like a madman. So I was out the house chilling all day. I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all what I was doing. I was playing the new WWE 2K game. That's what I was doing on my PlayStation 5. You know, created my little player and everything, trying to win these championships. Then I get the alert, Big Q live talking about, oh, Deshaun Watson. We just made an offer for Deshaun Watson. I'm sitting here like, how? How is this happening? Y'all ain't got no money. Then he started breaking everything down. I was like, oh, okay. Man, boy, when it rains, it pours. Now, it could be one of those situations where if the Saints do get Deshaun Watson, you know, I don't know if you ever heard of people being house poor. You know, kind of like what the Falcons are right now. That's why they had to go ahead and extend Matt Ryan's contract. You know, you could be player poor. And if that happens, and what Molly Mall is saying, as far as they have to trade some players away, then I'm sure they have to trade some draft picks away as well. They could be player poor too. You know, and we just be in the player poor house together. We just be in a player poor house together. Appreciate the done, Coach Dre. Definitely, man. They call me easy. He said it don't matter what the Saints give them. They have a defense. They have a good coaching staff, and they have weapons. And I mean, from what I'm hearing, it sounds like NBA YoungBoy's big brother, Michael Thomas, is going to be staying in New Orleans. So I mean, you know, that it looks like you're gonna have to deal with that too. Bearded B says, "What's up, Lo? I'm thinking the world. I'm thinking TF shots the world. Terry Fontenot shots the world and takes Willis at 8. This Matt Ryan restructure is a smoke screen, so teams don't think they have to move up for him. What you think? And that could be the case. You know, they might go ahead and take Malik Willis at 8 and moving forward. You know, they go ahead and make some moves during that restructure. It could give them some moves to make in free agency. So, you know, that could be the case. AJ Evans says another lost season is imminent with Brady coming back and only take cake. Terry is thinking of little Debbie's, so no Chandler Jones. You know, thinking of little Debbie's. Look, so I guess the question is, guys, because y'all heard me go on my little rant. I went on my little competitive rant just a few minutes ago saying, hey, we can't control what other people do. We can't control what the other teams do. Now, whether you're a Saints fan or Tampa Bay fan, Falcons fan, Panthers fan, my question to you is, because Tampa Bay, they didn't look like the same team this past season as they looked the year before. Like, they took a step down. You could tell it. They barely won the Super Bowl the year they won it. The Packers should have beat them. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and put it to you like this, guys. I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. Well, I'm not going to say I don't think it will. I want to ask y'all, put a 1 in the chat if you feel like Tom Brady coming back seals the deal that the Falcons won't make it to the playoffs this season. If you feel like that is the case, put a 1 in the chat. Now, if you feel like I said, you know, you can only control what you can control, you know, and you don't worry about that, and it doesn't make a difference whether Tom Brady comes back or not, and we still have a chance to win the division or go to the playoffs, put a 2 in the chat. I legitimately want to know what y'all think. So if you feel like Tom Brady coming back to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you know, fire the cannons, blah, blah, blah. If you feel like him coming back keeps the Falcons from going to the playoffs, put a 1 in the chat. If you feel like it doesn't make any difference, and whoever's going to win is going to win, put a 2 in the chat. I legitimately want to know what y'all think, because this is the part in the show where we all put our heads together, and then this is where it's one of those cases where we say, okay, well, look, guys, this could happen. We think outside the box. We open the flaps to the box, we get out of it, and then we start thinking. We're thinking outside of the box. So let's go ahead and think like that. Coach Wallace, he said, Big Low, the Saints will still have to get under the salary cap first. I definitely agree with you, Coach. Bronco Stampede says, heck nah, if the Saints want Watson, Houston will want MT. So Houston will want Michael Thomas. And I could definitely see that. Bucks score game, he says, Falcons, Saints, Panthers fans mad at the Bucks got Brady back. I don't really care. I don't really care, to be honest with you. It sucks, but we can only control what we can control. Grand Dodger says, my question, Big Low, is can he go to work for me later on? So sleepy, fam. I can't do it, Bo. I got to go to work for myself. I wish I could. In the words of my homeboy, Manny Fresh, if I could, I would. But I can't, so I ain't. Oh, man. So the question is, put a 1 in the chat if you feel like it's one of those cases where Tom Brady coming back is going to keep the Falcons from going to the playoffs or winning the division. If you feel like it doesn't make any difference, put a 2 in the chat. I legitimately want to know what y'all think. Jamal D, he said full rebuild. Full rebuild loaded. Coach Padre, he put a 1 in there. Coach Padre, my man foot brother. Man foot. He thinks that it kind of seals the deal for the Falcons. Lewis thinks that it kind of sealed the deal for the Falcons. Buck Skull Gang, of course, he gets naked and says that the Falcons ain't gonna be able to do nothing. Cartier says 1, Falcons still never beat Brady. That's true. That's true. Undefeated against the Falcons. Xavier and Jonta Rozier, they said 2. They said that, look, you can't worry about what somebody else is doing. You can only worry about yourself. Jamal D, he says, I think we could possibly sneak in the playoffs because the NFC is weaker, but we won't win our division. So he says 2. And that's what I'm thinking, guys. Like, you don't have to win the division to get in the playoffs. Don't forget, also, there's an extra playoff spot now. The division is weaker. So I mean, I think they can still make it in there. Coach Wilder says 2. We can't worry about what Tampa Bay is doing. And I say the same thing, Coach. It's like, if I sit up here and I worry, what's the term, keeping up with the Joneses? If I worry about what the Joneses is doing across the street, guess what? The countries ain't getting done what they need to get done. It's my responsibility to take care of my family, right? But if I'm sitting here too busy looking like, man, boy, they just painted their house. Coach Roney, call the painter. Like, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. Coach Dre says 2. He said, look, it don't make no difference. What's going to happen is going to happen. But that doesn't just completely shut the door. Call me easy. He says 1. He says it's over. He says it's over now, like a 112 song in the early 2000s. It's over now. Oh, man. Molly Mall says, look, this is one of those cases where it's not over for the Falcons just because Tom Brady came back. Redrick says 2. This is not over. You still get that wild card spot. Tonio in here, it's a party. He says they got Brady, but they lost key members on that O-line. And look, just like Coach Roney's granddaddy used to say whenever he agreed with somebody. Hello. Yep, they lost key pieces of that O-line. We know that Tom Brady, he needs an offensive line to be successful. He definitely needs it. AJ says 1. Even if Brady shows his age, we still have holes everywhere. And that's what the offseason is for, Coach. We gotta and this is why I ended the video that I had. I don't know if y'all had a chance to see it, but it's on my channel. I just put it up right before I got on here. Excuse me. But it's like, look, we know that Matt Ryan, he's not going to throw you to wins. He's not going to throw for 423 yards and 4 touchdowns like he used to do in those golden days in the Falcons and Saints rivalry. I know that. I don't know if y'all know it, but I know that. I understand that it's one of those cases where Matt Ryan is going to have good team wins, 262 yards, 2 touchdowns. I'm cool with it. 120 yards on the ground. Get a timely turnover, timely stop. That's how you're gonna have to win with Matt Ryan. He's not gonna throw you the wins like Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert. Like those days are gone. You ain't finna get it back. You ain't finna get it back. Coach Bridget, she chimed in. Coach Bridget said that doesn't mean that it's over for the Falcons. Just because Tom Brady's back, that doesn't mean that it's over. That doesn't mean that it's over. We don't know what's gonna happen with Deshaun Watson. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm a hater. I don't like it. I'm a hater when it comes to the Saints. I try to be a positive person all the time. When it comes to the Saints, I don't like them. I don't like the Saints. I don't like them. I don't like their dogs. I don't like the clothes that they wear. I don't like the car that they drive. If they drive Dodge trucks, I hate Dodge trucks. If they drive 4 F-150s, then I'm finna go sell mine and get me a Chevrolet. That's how much I don't like the Saints. Oh man, JJ the Great, what in the world, Bo? What's going on with you, fam? We also got Kahil in here. It says Matt Ryan need help on 3 sides of the football: offense, defense, and special teams. Yes, sir. Coach Joe comes in here. Coach Joe said, "Look, that don't mean that it's over. Y'all jumping the gun. See, that was that. You look. One thing that I learned is that you can't be scared of no man. Don't be scared. Tom Brady coming back. Y'all can't be scared of Tom Brady. You can't be scared of Tom Brady. He bleeds just like you do. He bleeds red. Just like don't nobody cut Tom Brady and he bleeds green. Don't nobody do it. So we seen last year Tom Brady. There were some times when he was looking pretty average. Now he's going to have to deal with a whole nother offensive line. There are going to be a lot of pieces that's not going to be there because they got a lot of free agents. I know that they're talking about franchise tagging Chris Godwin, but they're going to have to bring back Gronk. There's only so much money that could go around. And like I said, once again, whenever they did win the Super Bowl, Tampa Bay, they shouldn't have won it. The Packers should have beat them. But Aaron Rodgers did Aaron Rodgers type thing. JJ the Great, he says, look, man, don't change nothing. In the words of Coach Ronnie's mom and dad, they don't change nothing. Oh, man. The kid, he said, look, man, anything can happen. Anything can happen. Like you can't, you can't just get naked. Tim Quint says, we work on O-line and a few defensive pieces and we'll be fine. And this is what I'm saying, Coach. That's exactly what I've been saying. All you got to do is control the controllables. You control how often they get to your quarterback. Matt Ryan, most sacked quarterback in the last 3 years. You control that. You control how often you get to their quarterback. After that, I don't know if y'all know I'm an insurance guy. I work in insurance. Been working in insurance for the last 10 years. There's a term. You can look it up. Coaches, I'm spreading knowledge to you. There's a term in the insurance industry. It's called the law of large numbers. It's called you try to figure out, like, man, why are they charging me $210 a month for my insurance? It's because people in your situation, they tend to have accidents this amount of times. This is the percentage of the times people have accidents. It's called the law of large numbers. You can go Google it. All I'm saying is, if you look at the law of large numbers and you look at how often quarterbacks or their teams can get to the opposing quarterback, their win percentage is so much higher. And whenever they don't get hit too many times, you protect the ball, because we all know whenever you throw the ball, 3 things can happen and only one of them are good, right? It's a complete pass. That's the only good thing. Or it's an incomplete pass, which is basically a wasted down, or an interception. I mean, or 4 things, or a sack. So 4 things can happen and only one of them are good, right? So I mean, we got to take all of that in consideration. But that's a great point, Tim Quint. It's like we can only control the controllables. That's all we could do at the end of the day. That's all we could do. Cahill, he says the Saints can't draft a quarterback, the Buccaneers can't draft a quarterback, and the Panthers can't draft a quarterback. Their best quarterbacks are free agents, and that's true. I didn't think about that. Well, I mean, they did draft Cam Newton, but that was a slam dunk. that was a slam dunk. Coach Peppers, he says, I'm eager to see how Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith go about matters, but I do like how we aren't tied to Ryan. Should we desire to move on from him at the right time? And yeah, and Arthur Blank, on the radio on 92.9 The Game on Dukes and Bill, Arthur Blank, he said, look, we know that, time waits for no man. Time is undefeated. So when it comes to, moving on from Matt Ryan, we have to have a plan of succession. We have to have a plan of succession. So it sounds like they got a plan in place. The only thing we could do is wait to see if that plan starts this season. It might be starting this season. It might not. One of the coaches came in here earlier and said, well, look, think it might have been a smoke screen. So ain't nobody checking for Malik Willis. They might be checking for Malik Willis. They might be checking for Kenny Pickett. We don't know. The only thing we can do is stay tuned for draft night to see what happens. At the end of the day, that's all we can do. That's all we can do. Coach Dre says, Coach Lowe says, if the Saints got an F-150, then I'm going to sell mine. Yeah, I got to sell mine. If the Saints got an F-150, then I'd be like, I had to go to Coach Ron and say, all right, Coach, we're going to have to take it to the dealership. The Saints got one. I can't do that. Nah, no. Saints fans, y'all know that this all love, man. Y'all know that this all love. They call me easy says, we all know deep down that it's over. Dang, Coach. What in the world? Coach said, we all know deep down that it's over. Oh, man. Coach Bridges, he says, here go, they call me easy with that fake mess. He be on other YouTube channels talking about Matt Ryan, and then on here dogging Matt Ryan out. Two-faced. Oh, my goodness. He need to be called out here. Whoa, man, bang, bang. What in the world? Look, I don't get into I don't get into confrontations like that. But as a coaching staff, it's one of those cases where we all put our minds together. Sometimes we don't agree, right? But at the end of the day, and on this channel, we know, just like the New Day, it's all about the power of positivity. So we can all express how we feel about everything, but we don't bash. We try not to bash players. We'll pick on players, but we don't bash players and everything. My homeboy ATLGA Faithful, he says, we still gonna win the division. I ain't worried about Brady. See, that's how you gotta be. That's how you gotta be. Don't nobody go nowhere. Don't nobody go nowhere and say, man, well, shoot, if we come in if I come in second or third, I'm fine. No, you got to come in there ready to win. You ain't coming in there playing the radio. So, we were talking about Brady. So, moving forward, as far as Deshaun Watson goes, and this is kind of what Coach Roney was saying. Coach Roney, she keep her ear to the street. She's the one that lets me know everything that's going on. Coach Roney was saying, hey, Coach, I seriously think that no matter who Deshaun Watson goes to, I think he's going to be in the NFC South. And you know what? The way that I look at it like this right here, guys. It's one of those cases where it just makes the road to victory more sweeter. That's it makes the road to victory more sweeter. But I want to know what y'all think. Do y'all think that, first of all, do y'all think Deshaun Watson's going to be coming to the NFC South next season, whether it's to the Saints or whether it's to the or whether it's to the Panthers. Do y'all think that's something that would happen? If you feel like he's coming to the NFC South, put a 1 in the chat. If you feel like it's one of those cases where he might make a move to, the Pittsburgh Steelers, like one of the coaches earlier said that he was lobbying for, put a 2 in the chat. I just want to see what y'all think, because after it all happens, I like to go back and be like, well, shoot, man, it's crazy, because everybody was in the chat saying, man, I thought he was going to go here, and then he ends up going somewhere else. Iron Mike says, are Deshaun Watson, is he clear of those allegations yet? So I know Friday, they said that I got a alert on Bleacher Report. They said, well, so he's not going to be criminally charged. He's not going to be criminally charged for, the baby oil lotion massaging incident, where he do it. Look, what's in his baby oil jug is in his baby oil jug. So y'all can't judge him. I don't know what the man doing with it. Anyway, the fact of the matter is that they say he's not being criminally charged, but he still is facing civil suit charges. So he's going to be sued, and he'll probably just come to some settlements with the accuser. So we legitimately don't know what's going to happen with that. But with that being said, now he's free to now the Houston Texans are free to trade him. So we're going to see what happens. Matty Ghost with the Superman chat. He says, because of our holes everywhere, the draft and free agency will make or break our season. He's talking about the Falcons. Matty Ghost, first of all, I want to thank you so much for donating to the channel. I really appreciate that. You don't know how much it helps, my brother. That's that. That's a Superman chat. Definitely, man. Definitely. But yeah, that and that's what I said on my video, Coach. I said, well, look, Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith, the ball is in your court. It's like, the question is, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to take it and, actually make some moves, or are you going to just stick with your originally scheduled program and, just, don't be proactive instead of reactive? I need some proactiveness. I need it. Brandon Bird says 1. He thinks that Deshaun Watson is going to be coming to the NFC South. If he does, this division is going to be very, very fun this season. Redrick says 2. He says the Vikings. He said that the Vikings are at play too. So Deshaun Watson, he could go up there and cleanse himself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka. Grandizer thinks that Deshaun Watson is going to be going somewhere else and not come to the NFC South. Coach Padre says 1, because that's how our luck runs. And man, a few people who texted me, they said, man, that's just how things happen. That's just how things happen, for the Falcons. We always get the bad end of the deal. ATLGA Faithful says, if Watson come to our division, I'll be more worried about him than Brady. Watson go to the Steelers, lead the NFC South alone. Oh, man. Oh, ain't no problem, Mike. Ain't no problem. Antonio, he says, oh, my God, Buster just tweeted Freddie Freeman is going to the Dodgers. What? No. We're going to lose Freddie Free? Oh, man. Well, look, we gotta chip with him. We gotta chip with him. Look, he's from Cali. Like he's from that area. And I'm sure they were offering him more money. So I mean, I'm not even mad at it. Whenever I heard that the Dodgers were in play, I figured he was going to end up going there. So, man, that sucks. But look, it be like that sometimes, man. It be like that sometimes. Corey Harris, what in the world, Bo? What's going on with your fam? Hope that you're doing good tonight. Michael Walker, he just said, shake my head. Oh, man, yeah. So the question was, do y'all think Deshaun Watson is going to be coming to the NFC South? And Jay Tuff, he said one, he feels like that he is going to be coming to the NFC South. Mario Brown feels like he is as well. JJ the Great thinks he's going to be going somewhere else. Jay in the truck, he says, Lo, who's the first free agent that the Falcons are going to sign? In your opinion, I think you need to go ahead and go after Chandler Jones. You know, he has a proven track record. He's rushed the passer and successfully in the 3-4 and the 4-3. Like let's get after the quarterback. Like let's stop playing the radio and drafting guys who got upside that we think could get after the quarterback. Like, let's actually do it. Let's actually do it. Who that for life? He says that if he comes to the Saints, I won't be sad about my ex leaving. I hear you on that, Coach. I hear you on that. Man, but yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of up in the air. You know, I think they're trying to figure out what's going to happen with Deshaun Watson. Jonathan Rozier says too. He thinks that Deshaun Watson is going to go somewhere else. Ghost Pepper says any marked offensive line improvement, even just the average run game, and adding back a legitimate wide receiver one would easily have Matt Ryan back in the former production rather than ladder over the full season. Yeah, I can see that, and that's why I was saying, Coach, like you're gonna have to put the right pieces around Matt Ryan to make him successful. Like you're not gonna be able to put something. You're not gonna be able to give him what he had last year and expect him to throw for 4,800 yards. Like that's not going to happen. Like he needs the support. Like think about it like this right here, guys. It's like for years, Matt Ryan has carried this team. For years. I mean, let's be honest. Like there was a lot of years where we knew we had to score at least 27 points to get wins. And Matt Ryan done it a lot of times. No, we weren't getting turnovers. We weren't getting to the quarterback, but Matt Ryan's done it. Now, Matt Ryan's at that point of his career where we need to take care of him. We need to take care of him. Let's be honest. Like that, like that's legitimately what it is. It's like he's taking care of us all these years. We're gonna keep him and we're gonna roll with him. Let's take care of him for a change. You know, I don't know what better way to put it. ATLGA Faithful, he said that he wants Ben Jones. He said, is he still available? I'm not sure, Coach. I'm not sure if Ben Jones is available or not, but that would definitely be a good pickup. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's the kid I wanted to draft. I wanted him coming out of the draft, but we didn't make that move for him. The Bearded Beast, he says Watson going to the Steelers. I mean, and if that happens, it's going to be very interesting. Coach Ronnie. See, Coach Ronnie, she's in there talking. She's in there talking to somebody, right? But she cooking the lasagna, and I think the lasagna might be burning. So I don't know what she's doing. Hold on, let me text Coach Ronnie right quick. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I can't have my lasagna burning. I can't have it burning. Hold on one second, because I'll be mad. That's supposed to be my lunch tomorrow too. Yeah, I can't. Yeah. Coach Rhoda, she tripping. I need to get it right. I needed to get it right. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna call Coach Rhoda while I'm on live. Hold on, wait a minute. I'm gonna call her while I'm on live. Hold on. She need to get it right. But yeah, man, Deshaun Watson possibly coming to the NFC South. That would make a lot of people get naked. For the Falcons and not for the Falcons. Coach Ronnie, you didn't check the lasagna.
It's not burning. It's on the pan because it's too full.
Oh, okay. I just check it out. I just check it because you can't be.
It's not burning.
Oh, okay.
It just smells a little smoke. Do you see any smoke?
I don't be seeing smoke whenever we burn it. Look. All I'm saying is, don't you play in the radio when it comes to lasagna. That's all I'm saying. And see, I called you, you answer the phone, so you just go come in here.
I hit ignore.
You hit ignore.
I was like, ignore. I already know what he's worried about. Lasagna's fine.
What in the world? Oh my goodness. What in the world? Is the smoke alarm going off? See?
That's not the smoke.
What is it? Tell you what you call it. It's probably a smoke alarm, because you burning lasagna. My bad, y'all. My bad. Coach Rody burned the lasagna, y'all.
No, it's something with our alarm.
Oh, something with the alarm?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Y'all see, I be picking on Coach Roney all the time. Okay, all right. High five.
And I know Padre and Jamal in there, all them in there hating.
Ain't nobody hating on you.
It's not burned.
Ain't nobody hating on you. She put the shrimp in there too, y'all. See? But look, man, look. I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all. And this is the message that I have going into this season. Whether or not your boy Deshaun Watson goes to the Panthers or to the Saints. At the end of the day, it is what it is. We know that it's going to be one of those things where we still got 17 games this season, and whoever wins, wins. And guess what happened to the other party? Whoever loses, loses. I don't want to be a part of the losing party, to be completely honest with you. Oh, man. Wait a minute. Coach Joe, he says Tom Brady is a football player that can get his helmet twisted like anyone else. Some refuse to believe this, but Brady is not, I repeat, is not a deciding factor as far as who goes where. Just a thought. And I agree with you, Coach. Tom Brady don't got nothing to do with what happens out there in Flowery Branch. He don't. Do you think Grady Jarrett and Matt Ryan, they be taping up to go out to practice and training camp at Flowery Branch? Do you think they be like, oh man, I'm so scared. Tom Brady's down there and no, he's a man just like we are. He bleeds just like you bleed. So, I mean, look, that's something that we gotta take into consideration. They call me EG. He says, we get our hope too high. That's why we always being left disappointed and laughed at. We need to come to a realization. Let's face it. We've been terrible. The only way to make the playoffs is a big U-turn. And that's what I hope that this team is doing this offseason. Right? We got a new regime, got a new coach, new general manager. The first season, I ain't gonna lie to you. I wasn't too thrilled with it, but they didn't have that much to work with. And I completely understand that. Because I've coached teams who didn't have talent. I've coached those teams. It's tough. I mean, simple and plain, it's tough. Like it's hard to win. Whenever you can't do anything, you call a run play, and by the time the quarterback hands the ball off, like they're on top of it. I had one time the quarterback, he reversed out for a handoff. Defensive tackle took the handoff and took it all the way back. Like that's just how bad my interior blocking was. I was sitting there looking like, well, dang, did you even try to touch him? Like what in the world? So I understand that. So to a certain extent, I'm gonna give Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith a pass. Now, one thing that we have to realize, and one thing that a lot of people aren't acknowledging, one thing that people aren't acknowledging is the fact that one of the reasons why they didn't have the talent was on them. It was on them. They were here the off season before last season. They had a chance to get the talent that they needed. I understand that they knew they didn't know that Calvin really was going to go through what he went through. I understand that, but you're supposed to draft. You're supposed to get your depth. You're supposed to get your depth. Tajay Sharp, the guy that they signed in free agency, he didn't pan out. He was not the guy that we thought he was. He wasn't the guy that Arthur Smith thought he was. He was supposed to be the guy who knew the system. He wasn't that guy. They got Mike Davis. They got Mike Davis. Mike Davis was not an effective runner. So it's like for everyone who says, hey, the issue is that they didn't have the talent. Well, think about it, guys. A lot of the talent on that team is the talent that they brought in. I mean, I'm just being honest. But it's like I said, I'm going to give them a pass for last season. You know, it's their first time doing the job. I just started a new job. A few weeks ago. It's tough. I'm learning new stuff every day. You know how many emails I get a day? So like, hey, coach, you did this wrong. I'm like, hey, well, you know, it be like that sometimes. I'll try to get it right next time. Get an email again. Oh, coach, whenever you do such and such and such, you need to make sure that you put this in. Like, oh man, I keep forgetting. I don't know what the world. That's how it is. So you know, it's one of those things. So, but just like you said, it called me easy. It's like you need to do a U-turn. Yes, I completely agree with you. The question is it going to be done? Like, don't talk. Don't just be talking about it. Don't just be talking about it. They got an old saying in the country. I don't know how many of y'all heard this before, but don't piss on my head and tell me it's raining. Don't do it. Show me the baby. Oh man. Jamal D says, would they have brought in different talent if they didn't inherit that terrible salary cap? I mean, I'm going to be completely honest with you, coach. Like, there's a lot of good talent out there that's not expensive. See, it's like one of the issues that everybody's having is like they're just too busy looking at what Thomas Dimitroff did wrong. I understand that handicaps you to a certain extent, but one thing that we have to remember is that you can't. Whenever you get a new job, you can't control what happened before you got there. You can only control what you do every day. If you get hired on January the 27th, 2022, guess what? You don't got nothing to do that what happened on December the 1st, 2021. You don't got nothing to do with that. You can only work with what you got. So it's like all this talking about, they can only work with, because I see Coach Wallace, he says, hey, Coach Lowe, but we can only get the players that we could afford. I understand that, but let me ask you this right here. What's the kid's name? Terry Foreman. We knew that Mike Davis wasn't we see that Mike Davis was not an effective running back. But Foreman, we had him on the team. We let him go. He went back to Tennessee, and he was looking like baby Derrick Henry, right? He was looking like baby Derrick Henry. Allison, whenever he did get the ball, Allison looked pretty good, but we kept giving the ball to Mike Davis. Cordero Patterson got the ball way too much, and that's all I'm saying, guys. It's like we can't make excuses. It's like everybody's saying, hey, they can only work with the talent that they could get. They can only work with the talent that they can get based on the salary cap. Well, do you know how many hundreds and thousands of players, NFL caliber players, are out there that would have performed better than the guys on this team? Like, I'm just being completely honest with you. It's like we're making excuses for them collectively as a fan base. We're making excuses for them. You know, in the fan bases who hold their teams' feet to the fire. Those fan bases, they get the results. Pittsburgh Steelers get the results because they legitimately say, hey, this isn't working. Y'all need to do something else, and something else gets done. It continuously happens. So it's like for everybody that says, well, look, coach, we didn't have the salary cap. There's so many players out there every year. There are players that come out of nowhere that end up performing very, very well. We're making excuses, coaches. We can't do it. We can't do it. Cartier said, don't talk about cream cheese, Patterson. He buttered the bread this year. I hear you, coach. I hear you. And Coach Wilder says, "Hey, Coach, I'm not making excuses. These are facts. I understand that, but Dante Foreman, actually being on the team, and we stuck with, and we made the decision to keep Mike Davis and let Foreman go and not play Ollison as much as he should have gotten played. Like, those are facts as well. There's also a lot of facts out there that there's players all around this league who could have signed for a veteran minimum who would have performed better than Jalen Mayfield, who would have performed better than Caleb McGarry, who would have performed better than Matt Hennessy. The list goes on. The list goes on. So it's like, just saying, hey, just going back and saying, hey, well, the thing is that they inherited a poor salary cap. I mean, we have to acknowledge the elephants in the room, guys. We got to legitimately acknowledge it. And having that same attitude will make you look and say, hey, man, Tom Brady's coming back. Man, if we didn't have this bad situation before these guys got here, man, we would be messed up. I mean, it's one of those cases. Coach Waters, he says, but Coach, who had a better offensive line, us or the Titans? We had a worse offensive line, but guess what? We had a chance to make those changes before the season started. We drafted Caleb. I mean, we drafted Jalen Mayfield. We drafted Drew Dalman. We got Andrews. That's 3/5 of the offensive line right there. We could have made some changes to get different people on the offensive line. And that's the point that I'm making. Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot had a chance to make changes to the offensive line. Their offensive line was not as good as the Tennessee Titans offensive line because they didn't make the right moves to make their offensive line better. They had a chance and they didn't get it done last season. And they got a chance to do it this year, and hopefully they can get it done this year. That's the goal. That's the goal. I see old Joy in here chilling out with us. What's going on, Joy? Oh, enjoy my worlds in the house. Ghost Pepper says people wanted Fields because he's mobile, yet he still got hit more than Chicago crime rate. Because of piss poor offensive line and Nagy. I'm just saying, and that's the truth, Coach. And that's why I said it's like we've been taking care of Matt Ryan all of these years. It's time for, Matt Ryan's been taking care of us all of these years. It's time that we take care of Matt Ryan. It's that time. Matt Ryan's at a point in his career where you don't have to have a top 5 wide receiver in the game for him because he's a savvy veteran. But I tell you one thing that he does need, one thing that Matt Ryan does need is an offensive line. He needs somebody to block for him. If I had a top 5 offensive line and I had the 15th best wide receiver core, I would be more than happy with that. Because I know Matt Ryan will be able to work with that. But, just saying, hey, Matt, you need to just make sure that you call out the right blitzes. Like, no, Matt Ryan just passed that. You can't keep expecting Matt Ryan to do something with nothing. Oh, man. Coach Bridget says, Coach, you preaching the truth. It's like, I ain't trying to preach the truth, Coach. I'm just saying, it's like Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot, they had their chance to make some moves. Now, we had to acknowledge it was improvement. They won more games than the previous regime did the previous season. It was improvement. But, whenever they played against actual playoff teams, they got blown out the water every time. They play against the Cowboys, blown out the water. Play against Tampa Bay, blown out the water. It's like, it happened consistently. It consistently happened. They kept losing big to good teams. Like, we would have tight games against bad teams, and whenever we play good teams, we got our backs blown out. So the question is, where do we go from here? That's the question. Where do we go from here? Because we can't control what happened before we got here. The question is, where can we go from here? Kenny G says, we need some culture setters, Coach. Yes, we do. Coach Joy says, we messed up years ago, and we're catching up now. That's it. Because at the end of the day, we can't. Do you know every new coach? Every new coach, almost every new coach, whenever he comes into a situation, he deals with a negative situation. You know why? Because most of the time that previous coach got fired. The team wasn't good. That GM, they're dealing with a bad situation. The team wasn't good. Simple and plain. Coach Wilder says, well, Coach, they're back at the point where they didn't have the money to get better players. I understand they didn't have money to get big name players. I completely understand that, Coach. But that's where your coaching comes into play. That if I don't have a better offensive line that I had the year before, then I be doggone. I need to coach guys open. I need to throw quick developing passes. I need to run. I need to do zone run blocking. I can't run power because my guys aren't going to win one-on-one matchups. Right? I need to run more screens. I need to run different variations of screens. I don't need to be predictable with my play calling. Like all of that comes into play. And I need to continuously work on getting better. I can't just stick the same guys out here every week expecting a different result. Because if that happens, guess what's going to happen? My quarterback's going to get hit the most. He's going to get hit the most in the league. And guess what happened? Our quarterback got hit the most in the league. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We legitimately got to make changes. Because if we sit up here and just say, hey, we couldn't afford better players, well, what can we do? I understand we can't afford guys we can't pay some guys $6-7 million, but there are rules set in place to sign guys on veteran minimums. There's some undrafted free agents out there. It's like at the end of the day, you made the choice to roll with these guys. You rolled with Jake Matthews, Jalen Mayfield, Matt Hennessy, Chris Lindstrom, and Caleb McGarry. Those are the guys that we rolled with, right? Jalen Mayfield had such a bad game, he was crying on the sideline. I know some people sit here and say, hey, man, y'all don't talk about Jalen Mayfield, man. The poor fellow was crying on the sideline. I'm not going to feel bad for watching a 23-year-old kid cry on the sideline after facing the reality of the NFL for the first time, and he's making $7 million this year. I'm not going to feel bad about that. I'm not. I'm sorry. I can't do it. He had a dose of reality. Football, look, guys, football will make you cry. Yes. Football ain't always pretty. Football is painful and it will make you cry. Whenever you imagine lining up against a man who is stronger, faster, and physically superior to you, and you got 80 million people watching. Imagine that. Football will make you cry. Imagine being in a high school stadium where there's 3,000 people watching, or I don't know, 800 people watching, and everybody knows that guy is physically superior to you. Some people cry, some people don't. But football will make you cry. It made Jalen Mayfield cry. The only difference between Jalen Mayfield and everybody else is that Jalen Mayfield got paid a significant amount of money to have the honor to play football in the National Football League for the Atlanta Falcons. I'm not going to feel bad that people are analyzing his poor play. I can't do it. I definitely hope that he gets better, but football will make you cry. People cry. It happens. It legitimately happens. Jamal says, I'll give Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot 3 drafts and 3 full seasons to judge. And I feel you on that, coach. And that's why I said, like, I'm giving them a pass from last season. It was their first time doing it. You know, and when it comes to these rookies, we legitimately don't know what we got. Like, we don't know what we got with Richie Grant. We don't know what we got with Jalen Mayfield. There have been some times when guys came out who played offensive line, and then moving forward after they, play that first year and they get used to NFL strength, the NFL speed, they come back and they're better. But, we'll see. We'll see. Coach Wilder says, Coach Lowe, I'm going to keep on saying that the players that make that it's the players that make coaches, because you can have the best play caller, and if you have the players to run them, it's going to be hard to do. Well, if you don't have you're saying if you don't have the play, I mean, I hear what you're saying, Coach, but that's it's kind of like it's kind of like what I tell my players, and I tell my players' parents all the time. They got coaches for a reason, right? They have coaches for a reason. And there's one thing about the state of Georgia. Guess what? They don't pay coaches the same amount of money because all coaches ain't the same. Better coaches get paid more money because better coaches affect the game. Let me ask y'all something. Do you think that Bill Belichick is making the same amount of money as, I don't know, Fangio whenever he was the coach of the Denver Broncos? You think they'll make the same? No, they weren't, because Bill Belichick was a better coach. Bill Belichick knew how to make situational changes. So, I mean, some coaches, like average coaches, it's like they may look at that situation and say, oh man, my players aren't as good. We're probably going to lose. That's what they're going to be thinking subconsciously. But if you worth your weight in salt as a coach, you say, okay, my offensive line isn't blocking the way that they need to block. I need to make sure that I have a legitimate game script based off of the fronts and the looks that I see. If I can't make those changes, then it's going to be a long day. John Person, he says, I agree, Coach. We can extend Matt Ryan's career with a decent offensive line. Cincinnati was a right tackle away from a Super Bowl. I mean, that's true. That's true. That's definitely a good point. That's definitely a good point. Coach Bridget, she says Arthur Smith was questionable all season. He made some questionable play calling that didn't make any sense. Allison seemed to do better than Mike Davis, and they kept playing Mike Davis. It was so much. And that's not the only thing, Coach. We had Terrence Mathis on the show. Terrence Mathis, he told y'all what he seen from his perspective. And Terrence Mathis told y'all, he said, look, coach ain't putting players in the best situation to successfully succeed. Right? I mean, he's not, and then he'll turn around and say, wide receivers aren't getting open. Well, doggone, Coach. Look, the thing is that the season before, everybody was talking about Dirk Cutter. Everybody's like, man, Dirk Cutter, he needs to make sure that he coaches these players up to get these guys open. Well, I be doggone. Moving forward, ain't nobody's calling out Arthur Smith. Nobody's calling out Arthur Smith because we looked at the film, guys. Y'all remember we looked at the film together. The infamous is it Matt Ryan's fault film study. We looked at it together. We seen there were guys open. There were guys that San Diego game. There were guys open. Now the question is that I don't know if Matt Ryan was going through a certain amount of progressions, if he was looking deep first and he didn't have, but we knew that there were guys open. If you look at this film for this past season, guys just weren't schemed open. The route concepts were very, 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 I would say, pedestrian. That's what I would say. But once again, they're just starting out. Arthur Smith is just starting. Terry Fontenot is just starting. So hopefully, the only thing that we could hope is that they get better, guys. But what we went in a whole nother direction. But the reason that we started having this conversation is that we have to remember, just because Tom Brady's coming back, just because there's a possibility that Deshaun Watson might be coming to the Carolina Panthers or the New Orleans Saints, we have to remember that we can only control what we can control, right? It's all about controlling the controllables. Everything else is everything else. I don't care what goes on in Tampa. I don't care what goes on in New Orleans. I don't care what goes on in Carolina. I worry about New Orleans when we play New Orleans. I worry about Carolina when we play Carolina. everybody who's been on a part of a coaching staff or anything like that, they'll tell you, we got scouts that'll check out the other team's tendencies. Normally it's 2 weeks before that game starts. You know, they'll go check out a game. They'll watch, most of the time they'll watch film almost every play of the season, and they'll take notes. They'll review analytics. So like, okay, coach, third and two and under, this is what they do in this situation where they're that part of the field. You know, 3rd and 5 and under, this is what they do in this situation where they're this part of the field. But on March the 13th, you know, before the 2022 season actually even begins, we can't worry about Tom Brady. We can't worry about Deshaun Watson. We can only worry about us. You know, that's all that we can worry about. Molly Mall said Panthers fans are delusional. Oh, man. Coach Wilder says, and we don't know if that's for sure about Watson. And that's true, Coach. Like, we legitimately don't know, you know, what's going on because he could go to Pittsburgh. Somebody earlier said, hey, Watson could legitimately go to the Vikings. They said the Vikings are in play for him. So we don't know. We kind of stuck in the dark. Coach Ghost Pepper says, hey, Coach Bridget, it was obvious that Allison had the hot hand. Smith gave up on Gallman too fast as well. I think Davis got the carries because of him getting paid more than the rest of the running backs. And you know, I don't know if anybody watches I Am Athlete with Brandon Marshall and Chad Ochocinco, but you know, they talk about things like that. They talk about guys getting more carries because they're getting paid more money. And I don't care about that. I don't care about that because at the end of the day, if you're not winning, you know, if you're not winning, guess what's going to happen to your revenue? It's going to go down. Your income statement, you review your income statement, it's going to go down because if you continue to lose because you're trying to give this player who's not as effective as a player who gets paid less money, that you try to give that other guy the ball more, like you're going to start selling less tickets. You're going to start selling less merchandise. You know, the PSL sales are going to go down. Like all of those things are affected. And believe it or not, guys, not just in the city of Georgia, not just in the city of Atlanta, but Georgia, it affects everything. Like the Atlanta Falcons are a business and they're a business in Atlanta. And it's one of those cases where when the Falcons are successful, it affects the city of Atlanta. And what affects the city of Atlanta affects the state of Georgia. So I don't care if you're like Coach Wallace living in Statesboro, Georgia, or if you're on doggone Abernathy in Atlanta. The Falcons' success affects the overall revenue of the city and the state of Georgia. I mean, it's pure economics. It's macroeconomics. For everybody who took it in college, it's macroeconomics. It legitimately affects everything. Definitely. Brian People says Vikings just extended Kirk Cousins. So that's, oh, man. So, hey, guys. It ain't looking good. It ain't looking good. The Vikings just extended Kirk Cousins. That's rough. That's rough. Coach Bridges, he says at Ghost Peppers, yeah, probably so. That would make sense, but dang, man, we want to win. Yeah, we're trying to get some W's. We're trying to win. Definitely. George says, Kenny, I said that years ago. Ain't nothing right. Ain't nothing been right since 2017. Here we are in 2022, and it's still the same. Oh, it's perfect. Oh, okay. One time. You said it's perfect, right?
Yes.
Just like you, sweetheart.
Okay.
Just like you.
Thanks.
I know. I treat you so fine. Cartier says, please scrap halfback dive. We get -5 yards every time. Please scrap it, Coach. Just take that page out of the playbook. I would definitely appreciate that. Cartier, I definitely appreciate that, man. That's that. That's a Superman chat. Oh man, y'all are crazy. Molly Mall says, Big Low, I'm in Keep Pounding TV stream, and they think Watson already in the bag.
Who?
Keep Pounding the Panthers.
Really, the Panthers?
Yeah.
They think they got Watson?
They think they got him.
I would like that.
They think they got him.
To the Saints.
Yeah, they think they got him. You would prefer to you go to the Saints instead of go to the Panthers rather than the Saints.
I prefer he go to the Panthers than the Saints.
But let me ask everybody in the chat. Y'all let me know, who would y'all rather Deshaun Watson go to? Would you rather him go to the Saints? If you feel like you'd rather see him go to the Saints, put a 1 in the chat. If you'd rather see him go to the Panthers, put a 2 in the chat. I just want to see what y'all thinking. I know I'd rather see him go to the. Oh, okay. Coach Rowe told me not to say it. Coach Rowe told me not to say it. So y'all let me know. If you'd rather see him go to the Saints, put a 1 in the chat. If you'd rather see him go to the Panthers, put a 2 in the chat. I just want to see what y'all thinking there. Let's see here. Let's see what y'all talking about. Coach Person says, Coach, how would you handle an underachieving player? Would you stick him? Would you stick with him and coach him up, or would you move on from him and gamble on another player? Well, I feel like it depends on the situation, Coach. So look, my squad, we looked at every week differently. So it's like if I got a player that's underperforming on the offensive line, and we scouted the other team 2 weeks ahead of time, and we know that they got that big boy. You know, if I got this guard and we know that they got this big boy who's a defensive tackle, you know, who eat cornflakes and bullets for breakfast, it's like I'm going to do one out of 2 things. One, either I'm going to double team that guy the whole game, and I'm going to pick and choose my spots whenever it's a single, whenever I'm just going to let him go man up and maybe run the other direction. Or 2, I'm going to look and see who else I have on the roster that would be able to get the job done. It depends on who I have to back them up. Or, and this is where your coaching comes into play, because I cross-coach players. I have some guys who can play tackle. Well, no, everybody on my offensive line can play every position. Everybody on my offensive line can play every position. So if my tackle, if he's a stud, and I know that their interior guys are just going to be better, guess who's going to be kicking in the guard? That tackle's going to be kicking in the guard. And I be doggone if that doggone guard that kicked back out the tackle, if he ain't kicking back enough to pass block the way that he's supposed to and shoot them hands, he's going to be coming out the game. That's how you have to look at it. That's how you have to look at it. If I have an underachieving player, I'm going to put him in the best situation to succeed. Sometimes the best situation is on the bench. There are a lot of successful people on the bench. I mean, I'm just saying, Coach, there are a lot of successful people on the bench. Let's see here. Nocturnals, he says, back to life, back to reality tour. What in the world? He said you'd rather see him go to the Panthers. Let's see. Who that for life said that he will be a Saints. Okay. Cap and Youngboy says 3, the Falcons. Jay says 3, neither. Wish and B says that he'd rather see him go to the Panthers. Say he'd rather see him go to the Panthers. Cartier said he'd rather see him go to the Steelers. Okay. Corey said he'd rather see him go to the Panthers. Big Mike said rather see him go to the Panthers as well. Dick says, I know, Coach, I'm late. Nah, you good, Coach. You good. Coach said he'd rather see him go to the Panthers. Jamal says rather him go to the Panthers. Bad coaching staff, and they would trade a lot for him. Okay. Jamal D says Panthers. JJ the Great says 2, because the Panthers would just waste them. I mean, that's true. Who that for life said, why your wife hate? Oh man, you know Coach Rhoda, man. You know she be hating. She got that hate in her heart, Coach. She got that hate in her heart. Kenneth Lyons said the Saints, or rather see him go to the Saints. Molly Mall also said the Saints, and Who That for Life said the Saints. Notorious Stackson says he misses Dirk Cutter. What in the world? Wow. Said he misses Dirk Cutter. Oh, man. I never heard nobody say that. Tyler, what's going on, Tyler? He says if we can get Sauce Gardner in the draft next to AJ Terrell, the doors of the church are closed. Boy, it get kind of saucy in the ATL. Derek White says, who that? Okay, I hear you. Coach Dre says, I'd rather see him go to the Pittsburgh Steelers like Padre. I pull up a Molly Mall and not follow the directions for once. He pulled a Molly Mall. Oh, man. But see, Michael Walker, yeah, you're right. See, them bench players, they become coaches because they know that it's one of those cases where, hey, I know that I'm not capable of doing it, so let me just sit and watch and learn what I need to learn. Coach Joe says, I've been a Falcons fan since Bob Berry, 1971. I've been happy. I've been sad. I haven't cried. We'll see a better Falcon team this year. All concerned, we'll make the right moves. Playoffs. That's what I'm talking about, Coach. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, man, the real Killers Lines, they said that they want to see him go to the Panthers. So, I think it's one of those cases where all of the Saints fans want them to go to the Saints and everybody else want them to go to the Panthers. So you never know, man. You never know. Matt crying. He like a fool, boy. He said, what I missed, Coach? I was too busy cussing and kicking the floor like Charles Dunn. Oh, man, you ain't missed nothing much, Coach. We were just talking about Tom Brady coming back. I told everybody that, look, it's one of those cases we can only control the controllables. The only thing that we could do is put the best team possible on the field. As far as Deshaun Watson, I've heard 4 or 5 different teams. Apparently, the Vikings just re-signed Kirk Cousins, so he's not going to be coming back. Well, no, he's going to be coming back, and they're not going to be making a run at Deshaun Watson. But I'm hearing the Steelers, I'm hearing the Panthers, I'm hearing the Saints. So I was hearing the Vikings earlier, but it looks like that kind of fell through. So yeah, I mean it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, we were just talking about basically, moving forward, we can only control the controllables. Just because Tom Brady's coming back, that doesn't mean it's one of those cases where we're just kind of stuck and we don't have a chance to make the playoffs. The only thing that you can do is put the best team on the field, and moving forward, you'll be good to go. Cartier says, sell go down when we lose, but beer sales skyrocket. What the word? Beer sales go down when we lose, but the beer scale skyrocket. Hey, I mean, I can't lie to you now. I don't know about y'all, but the beer sales is always good over here on this side. But look, Cartier, appreciate that, my brother. That's that. Dun, dun, dun. That's a Superman chat. Oh man, y'all look crazy. Well, look, man, I ain't gonna hold y'all up. I know that it's 10 o'clock. I know that y'all got to get ready to go to work tomorrow. I appreciate everybody for coming on and chopping it up with the old coach. I know sometimes I can't stay on the subject because I get passionate about something and I just go off in a whole other direction. But look, man, I need y'all to stay safe. We're definitely going to be talking about free agency moving forward and trying to see what they're going to do, and how they're going to prepare for this draft, moving forward. So, look, man, y'all take care. Please don't do anything that I would do, and y'all stay safe. We ready.